Hello, everybody. Wanted to come on here and just kind of going to do a little bit of a personal video here today, talking about the fact that I've lost something. In essence, I've lost my license.
Effective immediately. Your license to kill is revoked, and I require you to hand over your weapon. Now.
And I guess it's a farewell to arms.
Not a real license, but a position, or level of authority or clearance. It's a something that reaches into many facets of my life. Can you relate to this? Have you lost or ever lost something? You had something, and that something it gave you license. It's not like having an actual license, but because you had this responsibility or this something or whatever, it gave you license to perform certain functions, to do certain things, a level of clearance, just something of that nature. And maybe you molded your life around it. You gave much of yourself to it. And because of it, you were granted access, responsibility, uh, things like that. And so, kind of like Bond, you carry out your duty. You you have this license to carry out a duty. But then something personal comes along, and that personal responsibility doesn't exactly line up with what that something is. It doesn't fall into regulations exactly. Now, maybe it's the right thing to do, but due to regulations, your license is revoked, and it's possible you will not get it back. At least could be 1, 2, 3 years more. Now, I'm not saying that it's the rules or the regulations that are wrong or unreasonable. It's just that the two just they don't they can't they're not compatible. It's not an ideal situation. Kind of really nobody wants the situation on either end. They don't want it to have to exist, but it does. And so because of that, you lose your something. Bond has been there multiple times, and I kind of thought of you almost have sometimes in the Bond community, you might even you kind of take on that way of thinking. What would Bond do? You know, in this situation, and it made me think. Bond has been in this situation multiple times. Now we have a brooding Bond. He's upset. He's dejected. He feels thrown away. Perhaps he's feeling some of his identity has been taken away. His wing, his wings were clipped, and nobody has his back. He lost his license. He's kind of lost that something that kind of gave him purpose, his work. And we see that here in Skyfall. And it's kind of a hard thing for him. He kind of wants to be back in the thick of it. But in License to Kill, we kind of see that he doesn't care. Now, this is a different aspect to it. He doesn't care that this something was taken away. That license, it does not define him. He's going to carry on anyway, and his personal mission is the priority. And then, as in real life, Bond also has those who are closest to him who they're going to support him anyway, regardless of regulation. Perhaps they can't do it openly, but the support is there, and they're going to help him however they possibly can, because they understand that sometimes personal responsibility, personal reasons come first. Well, it's pretty nice to have friends, right?
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, that's what they're about, I think.
You know, in No Time to Die, we see a mixture of these two reactions. You know, we see that Bond, he's not defined by his license. He's not brooding over it. He, in fact, has a level of contentment in his life outside of his license, but he is just kind of surviving. We can sense that some of his own self-worth was kind of wrapped up in his work, that his license. His senses are still there. He's still the same man. He still has his same instincts, his same talents, his same experience, um, his personal, what's the word I'm looking for? The way he feels about himself, his confidence. He still has a confidence about him. It's all still there. What's really missing is motivation. The motivation really isn't there. And when our wings get clipped, or it feels like somebody clipped our wings, that motivation does go away along with it, doesn't it? Perhaps we felt we had purpose, we had some responsibility, and that kind of drove us to do what we do. And when someone else takes it, it kind of robs us of a piece of we felt made us, even though it doesn't really define us. If we lose our something that we thought was a little extra special or something, it doesn't really define who we are. We still carry all of our experience, all of our own talent, our own instinct, everything about us. We still carry that within us. Nobody takes that away. But what we kind of lose is motivation. We lose that drive. It sometimes goes away, and it's hard to get back. Now, Bond, he was motivated to go back. If he was asked, he had to think about it for a little bit. He was thinking, okay, do I really want to do this? But he did feel a little bit of that motivation to go back. Would you? Would you go back? Or would you move on and prefer not to risk having your something taken away again? Well, maybe when it's fresh, we feel like, well, there's no way. There's no way I would ever accept going back. Forget it. I'm not a pawn. I don't want to feel used. I don't want to feel toyed with. I don't like that feeling of having my something that can just be given or taken away from me at a whim. Honestly, if need be, here, you can have all this, but at a whim, we're going to take it away. And that is a legit feeling, kind of, because you almost also feel that pressure. There's that pressure of, I could mess something up, or something beyond my control could happen and I lose my something. So that's a legit feeling. And if it hurts too much, if it's just too emotionally trying, that could be the safest route. Just, you know what? If it's gone, I just need to let it go and not worry about it anymore, because maybe I was hanging on too hard. Maybe I put too much value on it. After time, however, could it be a little bit more like Bond in No Time to Die, where we have this feeling of, well, you know what? Sure, I could just take care of myself, not worry about anything or anyone else. I'll find my own happy spot, and I will let the world just tear itself apart because I don't care. Not anymore. But if you got the call, would you be motivated to volunteer, to step up again, even though maybe temporarily, hey, give this back, but who knows how long you get it for. You know, when it comes to that little special something that we all kind of have in our lives from time to time, um, really only time can really tell if we're hanging on to it too tight or if it's time to let it go. Um, but until then, what's the motivation? Where's our motivation? What else can receive that attention that used to go somewhere else, where we used to throw ourselves into this, but no more? Well, when it's fresh, it's kind of hard to figure out. After time, I'm sure certain avenues will present itself, but maybe developing a YouTube channel. Maybe that's not the worst place to start, I guess, right? Might be able to throw some extra attention there. So I appreciate your time. And yeah, this was one of those situations in life where I'm sorry, I couldn't help but start thinking, what would Bond do in this situation? Because I know he's been there before and he's taken different approaches to it. So I think the matter of time that it falls into definitely plays on which direction you go. Because I think it's probably the range of emotions, the range of decisions. It's fluid, and it's going to change over time. So anyway, appreciate your time here today, and hopefully we will see you on the next video. If you liked this deep conversation, let me know, and tell me how you've dealt with losing your something, and did it come back? Did it come back? And or did even better opportunities come up where you could use that experience? Or maybe it was you were able to be a good support for someone else that's going through that same that kind of feeling. So you kind of just develop an empathy for it for others. So I guess that's always a good thing that can happen. All right. You hope everybody takes care of themselves, and we'll talk to you in the next video. All right. Bye.